It's 25 minutes after 8 here on the AM show right here on Joy News. This morning we're spending time with the Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship. I don't know about you, but I grew up with this name, Full Men's Gospel Fellowship. What is that all about? We'll get to hear some details. Let me just introduce to you my guests who are seated. Sam Mensah is National Director for Operations and CAC Chairman, and Kwabena Enin is Field Representative and CAC Vice Chairman. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Okay, so you're obviously with the Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship.
Correct.
What's the fellowship about? Do you meet like every Monday to worship?
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you for the opportunity. Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship International. It sounds like a very full mouthful of names, but we've been around for over 60 years, founded in the USA by our founder, Demos Shakarian. And this fellowship has basically formation of laymen. We are not pastors, we are just ordinary businessmen, and we are being used by God because we found the talent God has given to us to propagate the work of God and to reach out to as many as must be saved. And so, yes, we are in Ghana. We've been in Ghana for over 40 years now, and we are still spreading. And we meet in hotels. We meet in areas where normally you wouldn't share the gospel, because our model is based on really reaching men where they are.
Okay.
You know, so we don't wait for you to come to us, we come to you. And hotels and restaurants, we've noticed that is a good place to.
So it's more like a business meeting.
Yes, typically if you come to a Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship meeting, it's set up in a business format.
Okay.
As you would have gone to any business meeting, we try to engage people in the way that they are familiar with. So a banker, a lawyer, anybody who would come in there should feel comfortable there, and even others who perhaps are doing other kinds of trades. So we just try to make it as comfortable as possible. Yes.
So before it was all men's. I hear that women are infiltrating the ministry.
Well, it is not women infiltrating. It is an effort we've made to embrace all.
Okay.
Initially, yes, it started as all men, but we realized the vision was given to the founder and the wife. In actual fact, the wife interpreted the vision God was giving to Demos, the founder. And yes, it was to solve a problem, but you don't solve a problem by creating another. The two shall be one. Yeah. And so now we've embraced all.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you're also admitting young people
as
well?
Yes, we are admitting young people because they own the next generation. And so if any organization that does not train the young to take over will eventually fade out. But also for our vision to call the youth to be and help train them to be responsible citizens. And so we mentor them to come up and take positions in this nation.
Okay.
And that is why we've embraced the youth aspect of this fellowship.
It's interesting, but can you mix the ministry with business, real business? Because what you're doing is not just a name. Is business as in men in business?
Well, if you say business, I mean, in our various businesses, if you will realize since time of old, God himself called Elisha whilst he was in business. Christ called Peter and tax collectors in business. And so the gospel have never been separated from business. And it is for us to use business models to run businesses well, so that we can be the salt and light of businesses. If you are doing business with a full gospel man, you don't need to think whether what he's telling you is right or wrong. You know he's a brother and he's telling you the truth, and he will do the right thing.
Because I was just going to ask, what difference does it make to be in a normal working business and also be part of the ministry? How, in essence, how has it changed your life, your personal life?
Yes, I think one of the hallmarks of what we do is integrity. integrity in the home, integrity at business, integrity as a Christian. And that is one of the things that we uphold. And so as a full gospel member, we are always constantly reminding you, using biblical principles, of what we are supposed to reflect. When Christ came, he shone as a light for the world. And we as businessmen must shine wherever we go. So in my business, whenever I am undertaking a contract or a decision, I must always refer back to my reference point, which is my biblical principles. So if I have an opportunity to look at something, and I look at this and I look at that, it does not go well with what I believe in, then I must review it and make a different decision. Sometimes it hurts. In fact, most of the time it hurts, because you are taking a decision, maybe from a commercial point of view, it might not be the easiest decision to make. But you also must put your values first, and the Christian values must always come above your commercial gains. Why? Because there is a benefit to it, tangible benefits, which I can tell you about in my own life, that the Lord has blessed me in many ways, that I believe that even though it may not necessarily all come in financial rewards, but in many other ways that money cannot buy. So I think that there is a key relationship between working as a businessman and doing the work of God, and the gospel needs to be moved forward. So that's how I see it.
I can imagine that it would take a lot of discipline as well.
Yeah,
to be active in the ministry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what does it take really?
It requires discipline, it requires sacrifice, it requires, our lives, have to be recalibrated. I mean, the thing about us is we are not pastors. We are businessmen. We are ordinary men and women. A lot of us have been in the world and seen how the world works. And so to recalibrate your life, to really say, now I've taken a decision that from now on, this is the way I'm going to live, requires a lot of discipline. Because there'll be times that you refer back to think, oh, if I'd done it the way that I used to do it, I'd have finished this long time ago. But now you have to make a conscious decision that, no, it isn't the right thing. And so, yes, it requires discipline. It requires you to look out also for other people, because our faith looks beyond our individual needs, but also to others. So these are some of the things that we have to consistently try and work to improve. But it's a work in progress.
Sam, we'll come and talk about your anniversary, because you've got something special happening. But I'm curious, do you have public sector workers also joining the ministry?
Yes, we have a lot.
Oh, okay.
I mean, most, yeah.
Okay.
We have lawyers, we have judges, we have accountants, we have ministries, civil servants, and all. We cut across.
In terms of numbers, how big are you?
We are over 3,500 membership, and we have what we call chapters, over 150 chapters in the whole nation. Yeah. Okay. Every big hotel you see in town, we have our presence there. We have a chapter running there. And when we say a chapter, it's a group of probably around 20 to 50, 80 who comes together to run seminars with all topic. We target making the total man, or you want to say the total woman. Yes, making the total man. So we look at all aspects of our lives, business, marriage, property, whatever, all aspects. So we bring on people who are experts in those fields to lead discussions on those topics. Yeah, so now that's how the seminar is run.
Okay. Well, one of the things I want to find out is, how do I become a member? But let's talk about your anniversary first of all, because that's huge. Tell us about it. What's happening?
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So from tomorrow, 21st of September, Thursday, we have the opening ceremony. So it's going to run for 3 days, from 21st to the 23rd of September. But tomorrow morning, we're starting with an opening ceremony to launch the whole program. And so that will start in the morning at 9 a.m. All our programs are going to be held at the International Conference Center, Accra International Conference Center, except 2 breakfasts, which will be held at the Movenpick and also Alisa Hotels. But I'll talk to you about that later. tomorrow is the opening ceremony, and our special guest is the former Chief Justice, Her Ladyship, Georgina Wood. So she'll be there, and also a lot of dignitaries from government and other places. So that will be done in the morning, and then between the morning and the evening, we'll be having a series of seminars, which is about developing training on topic on marriage, on family, and then there'll be some training, and then in the evening we'll have our flagship show, which is the Night of Glory. And the Night of Glory is going to bring together a number of people who are going to testify what the Lord has done for them. Businessmen, businesswomen, and the good things that the Lord has done for them. And then there's going to be a lot of praise and worship as well.
Okay.
So there's going to be it's going to be a very interesting night, and we are planning some surprises as well. So we want to ask so many people to come and see. It's going to be different for those who have been to one of our conventions in the past. But on Friday, we'll be having more seminars. And the evening we'll have a rally and that will be led by evangelist Labi Jima.
And that's still on Thursday evening?
That'll be, I've now moved to Friday.
Okay.
Yes, we've now moved to Friday. So Friday morning we'll start with some seminars, and then in the evening we'll have the rally. But in between we'll also have the corporate business meeting. It's a seminar where Dr. Ogbami Tete, who is now the Director General of the the Ghana Stock Exchange. Yes, and he will be leading us on that with Mr. Paco Shom. And then we'll have a business cocktail right after that. That's around 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Still at the Accra International Conference Center?
All at the Accra International Conference Center. Then in the evening we'll have the rally. Saturday morning will be the 2 breakfasts that I talk about, one in Melvin Peak Hotel and the other in Lisa, running concurrently. So we have, because of the numbers, we are expecting quite a lot of people right from abroad and throughout the nation. So we can't hold it in one place. So we're having 2 meetings, one at Alisa and one at Melvin Peak. And then in the afternoon, we'll be having some, at the same time, we're having a prophetic encounter at the International Conference Center for those who can't make either of the 2 breakfasts. And so they will be at the International Conference Center for a prophetic encounter with Dr. Comey and also that Reverend Hatchful. And then in the evening, we'll have our closing rally, and that will be with Labijima, evangelist Labijima again, who is a prophet. You must hear this man if you haven't. And so that will be the final program on Saturday evening, and then we will do the closing ceremony and so on and so forth. So it's going to be it's from morning to evening.
And this is open to people who are not even members?
It is open to all. It's free.
Even your breakfast meetings?
Yes.
When I hear breakfast meetings, what goes into breakfast?
Breakfast means you come in to eat breakfast.
Oh my God.
And at those breakfast meetings, people share their life story as to what they were and how they encountered Christ and what Christ is doing in their life. And so that is the breakfast meeting that we're going to have.
At Alisa and Melvin Peak?
Yes.
So can I come?
Yes,
absolutely.
I'll buy you a ticket.
No,
I'll
we'll give you a complimentary.
So, but you need a ticket to be part of it?
Yeah, that session you need a ticket to be part of it. But your ticket is guaranteed.
Thank you.
Because you brought us here.
But I can imagine that one of the benefits to be part of this ministry is also the networking as well.
Very important.
People can benefit a lot from that.
Yes.
And that's why we're having the corporate business seminar. And that's we're drawing together businesses, people from all kinds of businesses, inviting people from the banking industry, from the retail industry, telecommunications. This is being sponsored by MTN and Data Bank, and Fidelity Bank. And so we're expecting them, of course, and their associates to come. And the whole essence of that is that we're going to have a business cocktail right after the seminar, and then we'll network properly. So businessmen, full gospel men, and others who have come, and we exchange. So because exactly as you said, it's a very critical part of, whilst we are doing God's business, it's part of it. It is. The 2 things are intrinsically linked. We're not trying to separate our business and live a separate life in our business and then come and say something else. We live it, and so that's why the networking is very, very important. And we hope that more people will come to know each other, what they do, and then share within that community.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you hope that the ministry would have changed at the end of this celebration, and then eventually, really, because one of the things I also want to ask is if we had Christ, if we had the trace of Christ in every business, what difference would it make even to Ghana, our country? Because we see corruption, we smell corruption, we feel corruption every day, and we talk about it.
Yes, I mean, as you yourself testified, if you have Christ in every business or in positions of authority, then it will be Christians who will think of their fellow human beings, where we are in a nation where people do not have potable water, talk of education, which now we're trying to help. You wouldn't pocket monies that is meant for development. And so if we have Christians in positions, we believe this nation will move far. Yeah.
Okay. Now
just to add to that, because
sure.
I know it's easier said than done, and everybody will say yes. But we know that there's a lot of Christians in this country. In fact, the statistics shows that we have more than 70% Christians. And so why is corruption still in Ghana? The whole point of what we're trying to do through this convention is the theme, which is awakening the sleeping giant. And within us, we must awaken ourselves to the challenges that we have as Christians. And so it's one thing being a Christian, it's another thing trying to live and practice Christianity. And when you practice Christianity, I believe that some of these things that we are talking about will not necessarily be as high as it is. But it is also through, we also always say that we cannot do this by ourselves. It's only through the power of the Holy Spirit. And so it's very key that as Christians, we should awaken that giant inside of us, which is the Holy Spirit, in order for us to exercise what we are supposed to do in reaching out to others. When you have that in you, quite frankly, there are certain things, not somebody will tell you not to do, you won't do it yourself.
So this the convention begins tomorrow, and thankfully it's a holiday, so people have no excuse but to be there at 9 a.m. at Accra International Conference Center.
9 a.m., yes.
Okay, all right, and then it follows through from Friday. It wraps up on Saturday.
Night.
Okay, all right. But if there's a contact number, how somebody can get in touch and get a lot more details. If there's a ticket to buy to be part of it, where do you get the tickets? Details like that.
Yeah, well, I'll give you my number.
Okay.
And then you can reach
Strictly business. Okay.
Strictly business. But to the Accra International Conference Center, we are inviting everybody to be there.
Okay.
Some conventions, when it's being held, it's for only members only. Ours is not members only.
Okay.
Ours is open to the public. In actual fact, we've designed invitation cards where we've given people to come. And we've done announcements and flyers, inviting everybody to come.
Okay.
We have a place for everybody.
All right. So finally, how do new people join?
Yeah,
what does it take?
Yeah, the fellowship runs breakfast meetings, as you've heard.
The famous breakfast meetings.
In all hotels. At every weekend, there is a breakfast meeting happening. Even on a working day, Thursday, we have one for Thursday. But normally Saturdays, breakfast or dinner. And this is a program we call our outreach program, where we invite our friends to come to table with us, as some of our members are slated to share their life story. And that is how then we challenge you to make a decision to belong to Christ and belong to the fellowship, and we help you grow from there.
Okay.
And so that's the breakfast.
So am I correct in saying find a major hotel, and then if you want to be part of it, go there when they have the meetings?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And let me also add the number, because I think it's very important. The number that people need to call if they are interested in coming to the convention is 054 180 7346. 054 180 7346 or 0302 790 394. 0302 790 394. So this will lead you to our convention center at our national office, which is based in Nyaniba Estates. For those who are in that vicinity, we have an office there, and they can visit the office, call the number, and we've got tickets, registration tickets there. But more importantly, if you come to the International Conference Center tomorrow morning, or throughout the day tomorrow, you get more details. We have an information desk there with all the information that you need to have.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much for coming in and telling us about the Full Men's Business
Full Gospel
Businessmen's Fellowship / women, because I'm joining.
Absolutely.
Well,
thank you
God
so
created
much.
him, man.
Yeah, thank you so much, and enjoy the convention. We'll be there to support.
See you there.